Hey guys, Bryan Rogala here. This is the 101. Today we're going to talk about something that's covered a lot, but it's super important for pretty much anything you do outside, and that's layering. So today specifically we're going to talk about layering for backcountry skiing or uphill skiing if you're just doing it for fitness laps at the resort. This is different from resort skiing because you're moving around a lot more, you're generating a lot more heat, you're working harder. So layering is super important because you can change things up and you can make sure you don't get too hot or too cold. Here's 3 things to keep in mind about layering. Number 1, everybody's different. Some people run a little hot, some people run a little cold. It's very personal, so it takes a little while to really dial in your layers and figure out what works for you. Number 2, be bold, start cold. What does that mean? Well, you want to be cold at the car, which is exactly what I am right now. I'm freezing, so you're welcome. But if you're cold at the car, that means you're going to be the perfect temperature once you hit the skin track and warm up a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to be peeling layers and have to stop and rearrange everything immediately because you're going to be too hot. Number 3, your base layer is your most important layer. So what do you want to do there? Well, you want to make sure you wear wool. Wool is great at moisture management. It wicks sweat away from your body, which is really important because if your sweat freezes, you're going to get really cold, and that's a bad situation. Okay, so now that I'm really nice and cold, I'm going to walk you through the rest of my layering setup for backcountry skiing. After the base layer, you want a breathable mid layer. So I like to wear Patagonia's R1 Tech Face. It's basically an updated version of their original R1, which has been out forever. So it's got a nice fleecy warm layer here on the inside, and then the outside is actually a windproof layer, and it's also a little water resistant, which is really nice. The main thing is it breathes really well, which is what you want for skinning. If it's a little colder out, I'll wear a little bit heavier mid layer like this Outdoor Research Ascendant jacket, which is a little better at insulating, still breathes pretty well, but definitely works better on a colder day. Jackets like this have kind of changed the game for layering because they're going to keep you warm when you stop, but they're not going to make you overheat as you're working. So the other things that I'll wear while I'm skinning, a pair of lightweight gloves like these from Hestra. And then what I also like to do is wear a buff. I like to put this on. I like to wear a trucker hat because it breathes pretty well. And then I like to pull the buff up over the back of the hat. It keeps you warm. You can pull it down if you get too hot. You can really bundle it up if you get too cold. It's just a really, really versatile piece to wear while you're skiing. Like I said, I'm very cold right now at the car, which is a good thing, and I'll warm up, but I won't get too hot on the skin track. In my pack, I always make sure that I have a puffy jacket, something really, really warm. This is Patagonia's Micro Puff. It's also really good for transition times when you're up at the top, ripping skins and getting ready to ski down. Then last but definitely not least, I always keep a hard shell jacket. This is the layer you want to put on over everything else. This is going to be your outermost layer that you're going to put on when you're ready to ski down because it's totally windproof, going to block the wind, and at that point it's just like you're downhill skiing. Now the other thing that I like to do, because I skin up in a lightweight pair of gloves, is I'll bring some mittens with me, and that's again in case I get stuck out there longer than expected, or just for the ski down. I like my hands to be warm, and these mitts from Hestra do a great job of keeping my hands warm. Other really important thing is you want some sunglasses. It's easy to not realize how bright it is out there with the sun reflecting off the snow, so always keep some sunglasses with you. So that's my basic kit when it comes to backcountry skiing and layering. Stay warm out there and have fun.